Hi, I'm Amber Webb with South Haven RV and Marine. This is going to be a technician walk around on your Flying Cloud. Here we have your 30-pound propane bottles. This is a regulator that operates back and forth between the two propane tanks. Whichever way the arrow is pointing is going to be the bottle that you're running off of. This right here is your electric tongue jack. It does have an on and off light here for docking and then extending and retracting. Right down over here you have a solar plug, so you could add a solar panel on top of the roof. What that's going to do is charge your battery for you if you don't have a place to plug it while you're storing it. And then right down here we do have an LP quick connect that you can bring a gas grill and run off of your propane bottles here instead of having to carry an extra bottle with you. This right here is where your battery compartment is. You do have extra storage in here. Over on the other side here. So here on the side, you do have your stabilizer jacks, and they do give you a hand crank. If you have a 3/4 inch socket with an impact, it works a lot quicker. But basically you just stick this on here, and this is gonna raise or lower these for you. You wanna make sure you have these down after you get the camper level, just to make sure it's not shaking around while you're in there. Right over here, they added a sewer hose compartment, so you're not having to keep it in your front compartment stinking up the camper there. And then over here, you do have your gray and black tank valves with your discharge right here. They also put a docking light here if you guys are doing it at nighttime. And then right back in here, you have your red valves, which is going to be your fresh tank valve drains. Above the black and gray tank here, you have your outside shower. It does have hot and cold water. And then over here you have your manual fresh tank fill so that you can take water on board if you guys are going to be doing any kind of dry camping. Over here you have your black tank flush. So you're going to hook your hose up here, and with the black valve closed, you want to make sure you fill it to about 2/3. You got some tank monitors inside. Once you get it about 2/3 full, you're going to come back, pull your black tank valve again. That's going to clean any kind of waste or toilet paper you have stuck to the side of the tank. Above that, you have your city water connection. So this is going to be where you're going to hook up your water hose at the campsite to get your water. Over to the side of that, you have your cable and satellite hookup for park cable. And then you have your 50 amp power cord, 30 foot long. Should reach any kind of camp post that you have. This is the back side of the refrigerator here. Over here on the back side, you do have your furnace exhaust. Just make sure you keep that free of anything that's sitting in front of it. Make sure there's no fire hazards here. On here on the back side, we do have a little bit of storage in your back bumper here. You have a little porch light here, a little vent hood that is over the stove to get the exhaust out. Down here you have a little 110 outlet, and over here you have your water heater. So here, back to the water heater, this is a 6-gallon water heater. It is ran off of propane only. Once we get inside, I will go over the switch for that and where it's located. Down here you do have the drain plug we use for winterization purposes. This is a 15/16 socket to pull that plug. And before you pull this plug here, you do want to pull this pressure valve just so that the water and the pressure of this water doesn't come shooting back at you. Before we go inside, I would like to show you how to work these steps here. You're going to collapse these little arms here, flip this bottom step up, and then you're going to grab the locks here and slam them in. Now to release them, you're just going to grab both sides of the locks here, let it fall down, flip this bottom step out, back here in the bedroom, we do have 2 little lights above the bed. They just flip on and off by the switch on the actual light. You do have storage compartments above the bed here. 110 outlets on either side of the bed with an extra cubby hole on either side of the bed. Underneath there is some extra storage underneath the bed. Over here on the wall, we do have another 110 outlet, which is going to control your TV here, an HDMI port, as well as your cable hookup. Down here on the floor, you have a furnace vent. You have a swivel mount TV. You're just going to pull this strap here. That way you can move the TV however you'd like. And then you do have a light switch here and a dimmer switch. Up above that you have your Dometic thermostat, which will control your furnace and your AC. Here we are in the bathroom. Up above you see that vent. You just push that red button and that's going to turn your fan on. That white handle going across, if you just push up, that's going to allow the vent to go up. Coming on down the wall, you've got a medicine cabinet there. A GFI outlet on the wall, on the back of the wall here. You do have your gas and electric switches for your water heater, as well as your light switch to turn the light on in the bathroom. And then down on the toilet, you do have your foot pedal flush. Now across the hall, you have your walk-in shower. Up on the ceiling, again, you have one of those little vent hoods. You just push the handle up, turn the red, push the red button on. Over there, you have your light switch, and that switch is on the wall located outside the shower. And then you do have a little wand for your shower head. Now we're going to move into the kitchen area. First right here, we do have some closet space here, pretty deep. Down here you have your LP detector, and then over here you got another furnace vent. Back on the other side of the wall, you do have your breaker box and fuse panel. Tons of extra storage space here in the cabinet. Right here you do have your gas stove and oven here. You got a light switch as well as a vent. Right here you do have your inverter switch. What your inverter is going to do is it's going to run both TVs and then any outlet that does say powered by inverter on it. Above that you have another 110 outlet. Over here is where those tank monitors were I was telling you about outside earlier. You're just going to click on it and it does go in percentages. And then you also have your water pump switch here. Over here we do have your gas and electric refrigerator. Completing the kitchen area, last here we have the deep farm sink with a sink cover that does also act as a cutting board. And now we're going to move into the living room area. Over here on the wall you do have your 32-inch Samsung Smart TV with a 110 outlet here on the wall and an antenna booster behind that. Right here, it's what they call a Thermistor Sensor, so that's going to be what detects to turn your furnace on or off, or your AC on or off to whatever temperature you do set your thermostat at. Underneath the TV here, we do have a long benched couch with some storage compartments underneath. Over here, we do have those lights that were like over the bed. You just flip the switch on and off here. Above the dinette table, we do have more storage. You do have a Blu-ray player that does go connect to the TV here with a couple of USB charging ports here. We do have a Bluetooth capable radio that also acts as a DVD player as well as a CD player. Coming back down to the dinette booth, this leg does just kick in by this little switch here. And then this table is going to drop down and sit on these bench seats, and it's going to turn into a bed for you. Before we conclude this walkthrough, I'm just going to go over a couple switches that are left here before you get outside the camper. You do have your fire extinguisher here, a couple storage spots here. The top one does have a little bit of plumbing, so just be cautious of that. And then you got a couple switches over here. Right here you do have your inside lights, which also has a dimmer switch. You have your awning lights on and off, which has a dimmer switch. And then you got a couple porch lights here. And just below that, towards the floor here, you do have your battery disconnect. You have a use and a storage mode. Make sure that if you are not using your camper and you don't have anywhere to plug it up to, make sure you go ahead and just flip that into storage mode just so you're not draining your battery. And then in order for you to be able to use everything in here as far as 110 appliances and stuff like that, once you get plugged into your campsite, you're going to flip that up to use and that red light will come on for you. And this is going to conclude the walkthrough on your Flying Cloud. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at South Haven RV and Marine in South Haven, Mississippi. Thank you.